about decking the halls. And speaking of decking the halls, those carolers, we have fewer than 200 left out of the 1,500. So if you'd like them and the 5 easy payments, definitely call up. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you can call and ask and they'll tell you. We want to introduce you first of all to Dan Byrne. Dan Byrne brings us Santa's Best. Dan, good to have you here today.
Beth. How are you today?
You too, wonderful. So maybe you're in the market for a new Christmas tree this year and you're thinking, I think we're going to get an artificial tree, but I want one that's a little bit different. Before I even tell you what we have for you, I want you to tell us what's special about this tree, Dan.
Well, this special is convenient. It's realistic, very realistic look and feeling. Has a 5-year warranty and it has an awesome 7-function LED light set on it.
And wait till you hear this. Pastel lights, multicolor lights, white lights. We have 2 sizes. We have a 5-footer right here. We have a 7.5-foot tree here. Let me tell you about the 7.5-foot tree. This is going to be pricing at $461. You can break that down into $76.83 a month if you would like to do that. And then also, just so you know, there's 600 lights on here, 2,205 tips, and it's 60 inches in diameter and 7.5 feet tall. On the 5-foot tree, that's going to be $252. We put it on $42 a month with a credit card order, 240 lights, 834 tips, and 40 inches in diameter. And you get a remote control too. These are only at QVC. And if you have one of the Santa's Best trees, if you bought this earlier this year, give us a call on our testimonial line, 1-800-395-1601. So the first thing I want you to do is show me those lights.
Sure, absolutely.
This has got to be so cool.
This is so cool. This is what we introduced this year, exclusive to QVC. It's 7-function LED lighting technology. So no longer do you have to choose between clear lights, multi-lights. I personally like the clear lights. My kids love multi-lights. I lose every year. Well, you know what? I don't lose anymore. So we'll start with our steady multi right here. This is for my kids, and then we have our clear lights. Also introduced this year, we have a 3rd steady light function, and this is pastel. As you see the lights come down, it really has a beautiful muted effect on those lights. So your pastel purples and your lighter blues. And then we've added a little bit of action features, which is pretty cool. This is going to be a slow fade out of multi and into clear white, and you'll see that it'll come right back up and it bounces right back. Then we have what we're calling basically a toggle back and forth. We have it as a flash, but a flash doesn't do it enough justice because it isn't really offensive. It's very, very soft and it just toggles lightly back and forth. And then pretty cool, we have 2 different twinkling features. We have a slow twinkle, which will go through all of those clear, multi, and pastel in a nice sort of glistening effect. And then for when you want to have that party on Christmas Eve, we give a fast twinkle. So those are your 7 functions. It's really a real wow, and all of it in the same bulb, and that's what that LED technology will give you.
Oh my goodness, 7.5 feet, 5 feet tall. But here's the other thing. So that was incredible, because this is the first year we've ever been able to have a tree like that. I'd never heard of something like that prior to really Christmas in July earlier, a month and a half ago. But let's go on over.
Great idea.
Here's the key. Here's the key, is that this is actually going to be how fast and easy it is to set it up. Take a look. Bryn is joining us.
Bryn is joining us here. So you'll see Bryn just puts her X stand. She's taking this out of the box right here. It's so simple to set up, and you'll see how everything just falls back into place right there. The only thing that Bryn is doing is plugging the cord at the bottom in the first piece into the outlet. That's it.
And now, it lit up already.
It lit up, and now you'll see the rest of it just instantly illuminates, and that's what we call our Easy Power technology. Now, Easy Power probably doesn't mean anything to anybody, except it's technology that we have that makes it so all the power is safely housed in the pole. There it is.
Wow.
That's a 6.5-foot tree. Mind you, the 5-foot tree is only 2 sections, and the 7.5 will be the same number of sections that Bryn just put together right there. So it's really beautiful, easy to put together.
All of the electricity, all of the power is in the pole.
That's right.
And so all you have to do, instead of having 4 and 5 cords coming down, all
Yep.
having to go into a strip or something. It's one cord, one outlet, and then the other thing is, what about the fact that you've got all these bulbs? I mean, we're talking 600 bulbs on the 7.5
Right.
footer, 240 bulbs on the 5 footer. What if a bulb goes out?
That's a great point. You know, because we know what the headaches of the customer is. We know what I call the nightmare before Christmas. When you're stuck in your garage, and I would just hear my dad screaming in the garage, searching for that bulb. You know, and it always happened at the most inopportune time. That's why we have our patented technology, and that's continuous on. That means that none of these bulbs will ever affect the other ones. If one bulb goes out, comes loose, burns out, falls out, you'll never know. The rest of the tree will stay lit.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay, tell me about Colorado spruce, because
Sure.
I'm not sure, I hear of fir trees and this thing and that. What's a Colorado spruce?
So it's a spruce tree. So the spruce tree, you'll see, has the wider needles right there. We've taken our cue right from Mother Nature, and you'll see that it's got the wider needle, but you can tell it's got a realistic look, but the realistic feel. And it's because it's a blended branch tip, meaning we actually take the mold from a real spruce tree and create these branch tips off of. And they're a little
size
bit,
of that.
yeah, it's really nice. And you know what the nice part is? I've always had a hard time. I got some heavier ornaments at home.
Yeah.
This is gonna hold those ornaments, which
Right.
is important to us, you know, at home when
Exactly.
we have those cherished ornaments that are a little bit fragile.
And do we need to do some fluffing, I would assume, a little bit at least?
Well, you know what? It's really not too much fluffing, because we have another technology, what we call is our memory steel, and that means you'll see right here in the demo video right here. Easy Power technology is, as we were describing, all the power safely housed on a pole. But you see how all those branches just fall right into place right there?
Right.
That's memory steel. That means that from out of the box into your home, into setup, it gives you just time to decorate, and no fluffing or any of that other stuff is necessary, which is fun.
And here's the part that's important, the natural, realistic appearance.
Yeah, we took our cue right from Mother Nature, and it's basically all the convenience of an artificial tree with the real look of the real tree, and the 7-function LED lights, all by the power of remote control, all by one LED bulb, so there's no restring or anything, and it's all perfectly strong. And then, of course, as we were talking about, our continuous on technology, meaning one bulb goes out. And then we have a foot pedal there. That's an on-off power switch, so when you go to bed at night, you can just say goodnight to your tree.
And you don't have to unplug it every time in case it's kind of behind the tree in the corner.
Yeah.
Here's the thing that I want to remind you. We actually just debuted this tree back in July. It was actually around a month ago. I think it was July 19th. Well, it's only
exactly
August 22nd. We've sold 25,000 of these trees already. So we have the 7.5 foot, we have the 5 footer. If you want that 7.5 foot, it's $461, but you can break that down into monthly payments with a credit card of $76.83. That's 6 monthly payments. And don't forget, on the 5 footer, that's only $252, or 6 monthly payments of $42 a month. And definitely think about a 5 footer in other rooms of your home. That's the beauty of that, is you can use it as a second tree, a third tree. Before we run out of time, Dan, do the lights again. You've got to see these lights.
And let me tell you one quick thing about this 5-foot size. As you were saying, it's so versatile. I gave one to my grandmother last year, and she lives in an assisted living. She put it up in her, she hadn't been putting any Christmas trees together. You know what? Everybody loved it. She had friends coming over. It became the point of celebration in her community. And you know what? It was really, it meant the world to her, and that's what's great. The 5-foot size, you'll see right here. You see, I just pulled, that's all it is, 2 pieces right there.
Awesome.
So it's really fun. And then, of course, the 7.5 foot size is great for those 8-foot ceilings. So really versatile trees that are realistic and really quite convenient.
Show me the light functions.
Sure. There's our steady multi, steady clear, so no longer choosing. There's our newly introduced pastel function.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I like that function as well, because it's something different you're not going to find in the marketplace. Here's your slow fade out of multi into the warm white, and you see it gently comes back up. And then here's our toggle back and forth in between multi and clear lights. And then, of course, our 2 twinkle functions, which are really fun.
The clear lights are warm. They're not, they don't look blue.
They're a warm white, and
they really are.
And that's where LEDs have come along a long way from what they were.
And the cherry on top is a 5-year warranty.